Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Got a wild story involving DUI out of Florida. Ashman sent me this from actionnewsjax.com. Ben Becker wrote it. $1 rubber ring in breathalyzer could put thousands of Florida DUI cases in jeopardy. Action News has learned a landmark legal battle in Duval County this week may have handed one driver a big victory, but put the integrity of breathalyzer testing in the entire state of Florida under scrutiny. In 2025, the man was arrested for DUI and failed a breathalyzer test. Now, his attorney says this is not a blank check for people to drink too much and drive. This technology goes back to when the Apple iPhone 5 was introduced in the country. It's way outdated. Inside the breathalyzer machine that is used by law enforcement agencies throughout Florida and the country sits a small component, which is a basic rubber O-ring. The machine we're talking about is called an Unauthorized 8000, the Unauthorized 8000. According to court testimony, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement admitted that it only replaces 4 out of 5 O-rings when it performs what it considers annual maintenance. That's 1 inside and 4 outside. And it sounds like the 1 inside is probably harder to get to. So, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office conceded it replaced the O-rings, but did not keep records when they were replaced, and disclosed that yes, could impact the machine's accuracy. The state also acknowledged that neither the Florida Department of Law Enforcement nor Jacksonville Sheriff's Office were authorized repair facilities. And it turns out that the machines need to be maintained by authorized repair facilities. So the attorney successfully argued to a 3-judge panel that replacing the O-rings is considered a repair, and it constitutes an unauthorized fix under state guidelines, which require repairs to go to authorized third-party facilities. And he asked hypothetically, does anyone have their oil replaced in their car, but only replace 80%? No, it doesn't work that way. He's pointing out that there were, in fact, 5 O-rings. They only replaced 4, and they weren't supposed to do that themselves. The legal argument could have implications far beyond this particular case, since this case addresses all the machines in Florida versus previous Unauthorized 8000 lawsuits that only pertained to individual machines. According to the Ticket Clinic, Florida averages nearly 45,000 DUI arrests per year. The state said there are more than 400 alcohol-related deaths annually. So I am not downplaying the seriousness of drunk driving, DUI arrests, or any of that, okay? But if you get arrested, you deserve to be treated fairly. And if they use a machine, the machine should comply with the law. And the law says they've got to do certain things. They got to do certain things. So Action News Jax reached out to FDLE and JSO. Of course, that's the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and the state attorney's office regarding the ruling and its potential impact, but have not heard back. Meanwhile, for the attorney here, the issue goes beyond this DUI case. He says the hard part about this is that people's lives are changed based on the accuracy of breath machines. Prosecutors, judges, and police rely on these to put people in jail. Your job is affected, your family's affected, your whole life can be affected by a breath machine result that is inaccurate and violates the rules of the agency. So do keep this in mind. Just because breath tests are thrown out does not mean a person accused of driving under the influence immediately walks free. Prosecutors can still use other evidence, including field sobriety tests, body camera video, and physical evidence if they've got it. So the breathalyzer or the intoxilizer evidence is merely one arrow in their quiver, as you'd say. But it does get down to, are the machines accurate? And if you've ever seen the process, and you can find this on YouTube, by the way, go watch drunk driving arrest videos on YouTube, and you can find them out there. And what will often happen is someone gets arrested. They first get pulled over because they were driving erratically, shall we say. And the police officer approaches the car, talks to the person. The person is stumbling over their words. They're clearly drunk. Police officer gets them out of the car, has them go through some field sobriety tests, which they fail horribly. Then they have them blow a preliminary breath test. And of course, the numbers are off the chart. And again, this is going to vary from place to place as to which of these things they do. They might not do them all this way, but this is a prototypical one. Then they take you back to the police station, and there they have the bigger breath test machine, okay? And that thing has a whole bunch of operations that must be done in a certain sequence. And so you'll often see the person, if they show this on camera, where the operator of the machine, the police officer, will turn it on, and then it'll go through some self-checks, and then he'll put a new thing on it for the person to put in their mouth, and it's usually wrapped in plastic, take the plastic off, and then he'll say, okay, now put this in your mouth and blow for a certain period of time till you hear a certain sound. Okay, that's good. And then they wait, and the machine kicks a number out, and then they wait a period of time, and they do it a second time. And the reason you're doing all of these steps is that if you do the steps wrong, the readings can come out wrong. I believe they're accurate machines when they're set properly and used properly. But the point is that all of these steps have got to be done correctly and in the proper order for the machine to read accurately. And so there are apparently 5 O-rings on these machines, and these O-rings need to be replaced periodically. And they've said, well, we just have people at the police station who replace 4 of them. We don't bother with the 5th, but we do that ourselves. And yet, apparently the rules say that if you're going to do maintenance or repairs in the machines, they've got to be done by an authorized facility, because otherwise it could make these machines inaccurate. And who knows which direction they go inaccurate. But it doesn't matter. The point is, once they're inaccurate, they're inaccurate. Now, I've mentioned before that in my career, I've handled a few drunk driving cases. And I've seen a lot of results of PBTs, preliminary breath test, and the machines back at the police station. And in my career, I never saw a big discrepancy between those. Meaning that in the cases I saw, the PBT appeared to be very close to the machine back at the station. And quite often, they were either identical or next to each other. Meaning at the roadside it was 0.09, at the station it was 0.08. And of course, your blood alcohol can drop, but also the machines do read things a little differently. I believe the big machines are considered more accurate than the handheld portable preliminary things. But I'm not going to get into technicalities of it. Simply put, the machines are considered to be precise, but like any precise calibrated machine, it's got to be maintained properly. And if their own rules say you've got to replace these O-rings this often, it's got to be done by an authorized facility. That's what you got to do. And if that's not necessary, by the way, they can go and change those rules if, in fact, they're not necessary. But I suspect the rules are there for a reason. And so you got to ask the company that makes these things, are those O-rings important? And should they be replaced so often? And if the answer to that is yes, they should be, then boom, here you go. So it's interesting that an attorney, his name is David Robbins, his law firm who represents this person who's charged with drunk driving, that he got this unveiled. And now, of course, it's going to sweep through Florida, and it's going to cause a lot of the police departments to change their behavior, because they're going to have to say, from now on, we have to have these things changed by an authorized person, and we've got to log it properly. And once they do that, they should be back on track. So it's a wild case. And again, I'm not condoning drunk driving. I am condoning due process. And due process says that people who are accused of wrongdoing have rights. And some of those rights actually address how the process works for them, and are they being treated fairly in every possible way that they're supposed to be treated fairly. And yes, a person is accused of drunk driving, and a machine, in essence, is doing some of the accusing. That machine needs to be calibrated properly and documented. If the law says that, you're entitled to that, boom, there you go. So it's a fascinating case. Ashman Center, thank you very much. And Ben Becker wrote it for actionnewsjax.com. $1 rubber ring and breathalyzer could put thousands of Florida DUI cases in jeopardy. And they're going to change, I'm assuming, what they're doing at the police stations. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. They say the universe is expanding. That should help with traffic.